You towel off after a shower, and your skin is already tight and itchy again. After 60, that itch shows up more and more, and most people blame the wrong thing. Maybe you switched soaps, changed lotions, even bought a new detergent, and nothing really helped. Here's the truth. The itching after 60 is almost never really about your soap at all. It's not your weather either, and it's not that you're simply getting older and dry. The real driver lives quietly under your skin, in tiny glands most people never think about. Quick note, this video is educational only, not medical advice, so check with your own doctor. Those glands are called sebaceous glands, and their whole job is to keep your skin oiled. As we age, those oil glands naturally slow down, and that changes everything about your skin. Less oil means your skin's outer layer holds onto less water, even with the exact same lotion. That's why the itch can show up even when you're doing everything the same as before. This is not a flaw, and it's not something you caused, it's simply how skin ages. The good news, once you understand it, the fix is simple, gentle, and very doable. I'm Hank, and today we're going to walk through exactly why this happens and what helps. First, let's talk about what your skin is actually doing for you every single day. Your skin isn't just a covering, it's an active barrier working around the clock for you. That barrier keeps water inside your body and keeps outside irritants and germs from getting in. When that barrier is strong, your skin feels smooth, soft, and comfortable, even in dry air. When that barrier weakens, dryness and itching are often the very first signs you notice. And after 60, that barrier naturally gets thinner and holds moisture a little less well. Small gaps in that barrier let moisture slip away faster than your skin can replace it. That's the itch you feel, tiny, dry, thirsty patches asking for a little extra help. It's often worse in winter, worse after hot showers, and worse in heated indoor air. Hot water actually strips away some of the oils your skin is already struggling to keep. So the very shower meant to relax you might be quietly working against your skin. None of this means something is wrong with you, it just means your skin needs different care. Stick with me, because once we understand this, the fix is honestly refreshingly simple. Right now, let's keep building the full picture of what's happening under the surface. Your skin is made of layers, and the outermost layer is the one drying out the most. Think of that outer layer as your skin's first line of defense against the world. As oil production slows, that defense gets a little less flexible and a little more fragile. That fragility is exactly why ordinary things, wool sweaters, dry air, even soap, can suddenly irritate. It's not that these things changed, it's that your skin's tolerance for them has changed. This is incredibly common after 60, and it's one of the most talked about skin changes in aging. Doctors who care for older adults see this pattern constantly. It's well understood and very manageable. So take a breath. This is common, explainable, and absolutely something you can improve. In a moment, we'll get into exactly what's happening inside your skin, step by step. But first, here's the one thing to remember. Your skin isn't broken, it's just thirstier now. That thirst is fixable, and it doesn't need anything expensive or complicated to solve. That thirst is fixable, and it doesn't need anything expensive or complicated to solve. Stay with me, because next we're going deep into the mechanism behind this whole thing. We'll also meet someone whose experience might sound a lot like your own story, and we'll answer the question everyone asks. Why now? Why after 60 specifically? There's one small everyday comparison coming up that will make this whole idea click instantly. Keep that question in mind, because the answer is simpler and kinder than you'd expect. Let's start with the basics. Your skin's outer layer is built from cells held together by natural oils and fats. Those oils act like a natural sealant, keeping water trapped inside where your skin needs it most. Your sebaceous glands make and release that oil continuously, quietly refreshing your skin's natural seal day and night. As we get older, those sebaceous glands naturally produce a bit less oil, and that seal gradually starts to weaken. This is simply part of how skin changes with age, similar to how hair can thin or gray over time. Let me introduce you to Margaret, 68, whose story is a simple, relatable example of exactly this pattern. Margaret isn't a real patient from a study. She's an example we're using to make this easier to picture. I love using examples like Margaret because they make the science feel human, warm, and easy to picture. Margaret noticed her hands and shins getting flaky and tight, especially after her evening shower, right around wintertime. Like a lot of us, she assumed it was just her soap, so she tried switching brands twice. If any of this sounds familiar so far, a quick subscribe helps more of these explainers reach you. Back to Margaret. Switching soaps barely helped. because soap was never really the main issue for her skin. Her sebaceous glands, like most people's after 60, were simply producing a little less oil than before. That's the real well-documented pattern that clinicians who care for aging skin see again and again in their patients. It's not dramatic or rare. It's one of the most ordinary parts of how skin matures over time. Without enough of that oil, tiny gaps open up between skin cells and water quietly escapes through those gaps. The dryness you feel is really your skin losing this daily battle to hold on to its own moisture. That's also why moisturizer helps so much. It temporarily patches those gaps while your skin works to recover. But moisturizer alone isn't the whole story, because the itching is really about the barrier underneath, not the surface. Margaret eventually noticed her itching was worse on her shins and forearms than anywhere else on her body. That pattern actually makes perfect sense to doctors, because those particular areas naturally have fewer oil glands to begin with. Areas like your face and scalp usually have more glands, so they often stay a bit oilier longer. Your shins, forearms, and hands naturally have fewer glands, so they tend to dry out first and driest. This is exactly why so many people over 60 notice dryness specifically in those exact spots. It isn't random at all, and it isn't a sign of anything serious. It's simply basic, predictable skin geography. Cold, dry winter air pulls even more moisture out of skin that already has a weaker natural barrier. That's why the itching often gets noticeably worse in winter, then eases up again once warmer, humid months return. Indoor heating makes things worse too, because heated indoor air often holds even less moisture than the air outside. Margaret realized her itching always spiked in January and February, right when her heater ran nearly non-stop. So let's slow down and really explain, simply and clearly, exactly what's happening in her skin. Picture your skin's outer layer as a barrier that needs to stay both sturdy and just slightly damp at all times. When that barrier has enough natural oil, it stays flexible, smooth, and genuinely comfortable for you to live in. When oil production slows down with age, that same barrier becomes drier, stiffer, and noticeably easier to irritate. That stiffness is what eventually shows up on the surface as the flaking, itching, and tightness you feel. This whole process happens slowly, gradually, over years, which is exactly why it can sneak up on you. There's actually one more piece to this puzzle, and it's the part most people never hear about. As skin ages, it also naturally gets a little thinner, which means it holds even less water than it used to. Thinner skin plus less oil is a combination that makes dryness and itching much more noticeable after 60. Neither of these changes is a disease. They're simply two ordinary parts of how skin ages over time. Here's the simple picture to remember. Think of your skin like a brick wall. Cells are the bricks. Oils are the mortar. When the mortar is fresh and plentiful, the wall stays solid, smooth, and keeps everything sealed and tight. When the mortar thins out with age, that same wall develops tiny gaps, and moisture slips right through them. That's precisely what's happening inside your skin right now. Less mortar, more gaps, moisture escaping faster than before. I really like this brick wall picture, because once you see it, the whole idea just clicks into place. Margaret's story fits this brick wall picture perfectly. Her skin's mortar had simply thinned out most in her driest areas. So what actually helps rebuild that mortar, or at least protect what's left of it, day to day? The honest, refreshingly simple answer is that it doesn't require anything expensive or complicated to help at all. Gentle moisture protected from stripping is really the entire secret to keeping that brick wall intact and strong. In just a moment, we'll walk through the exact simple steps that support this, one at a time. But first, remember that brick wall, because we'll come back to it as we go through these steps. Margaret's real turning point came when she stopped fighting her skin and started simply, gently supporting it instead. She didn't need anything dramatic at all, just a few consistent, gentle habits repeated quietly, day after day. That quiet consistency mattered far more than any single product she ever tried on her own skin. This same pattern holds true for basically everyone dealing with dry, itchy skin after 60, not only Margaret. The steps ahead are simple enough to start today and gentle enough to keep doing for years to come. Before we get to the steps, let's quickly recap what's actually happening here, in plain, simple terms. Your oil glands slow down a little, the skin's protective mortar thins, and moisture escapes faster than it should. None of that means anything is broken, it just means your skin needs a bit more support now. And that kind of support is genuinely simple, gentle, and something absolutely anyone can start right away. Let's finish setting up the full picture, then move straight into exactly what to do about it. Margaret's skin calmed down significantly within just a few weeks of simple, consistent care. She still remembers how simple the actual fix turned out to be once she understood the cause. If you've made it this far, You're clearly ready to actually fix this instead of just managing it. One more quick reminder before we dive into the steps. If you're finding this helpful, subscribing helps a lot. Now let's get into the exact gentle protocol that supports your skin's natural barrier every day. Step 1. Keep your showers lukewarm instead of hot, since hot water strips away the oils your skin is trying hard to keep. Margaret switched to shorter, lukewarm showers and noticed her skin felt less tight within just the first week of trying it. Step 2. Apply a gentle, fragrance-free moisturizer right after washing, while your skin is still slightly damp, to lock moisture in. Damp skin absorbs moisturizer far better than dry skin does, which makes timing just as important as the product itself. This one small timing change, moisturizing on damp skin, made a bigger difference for Margaret than switching products ever did. Step 3. If your home air is dry, especially in winter, a humidifier can help your skin's barrier hold on to moisture. Margaret ran a small humidifier in her bedroom overnight during the driest winter months, and her morning itching eased noticeably. Step 4. Staying genuinely hydrated throughout the day supports your skin from the inside, alongside anything you apply on the outside. It's a small habit, but it works alongside your skin's barrier rather than replacing the need for gentle moisturizing. Step 5. Avoid harsh, heavily fragranced soaps and choose gentle, fragrance-free cleansers that don't strip your skin's remaining oils. Remember that brick wall picture? Harsh soap is like pressure washing a wall that's already low on mortar. Gentle, fragrance-free cleansers protect whatever mortar your skin still has left, instead of washing away even more of it every day. Step 6. Choose soft, breathable fabrics like cotton, since rough or synthetic materials can irritate an already sensitive barrier. Margaret swapped a few wool sweaters for softer cotton layers and noticed less itching around her arms and torso. None of these steps are expensive, dramatic, or complicated. They're small, gentle habits that simply need to be repeated consistently over time. Consistency, far more than any single product, is genuinely the thing that made the biggest difference for Margaret's skin. There's one more important thing to keep in mind, and it's about when to actually call your doctor. If your itching is severe, doesn't improve with gentle care, or comes with a rash, unexplained weight change, or keeps you up at night, it's worth having your doctor take a look. That's not meant to alarm you. Most dry, itchy skin after 60 is simple and very manageable at home, but your doctor knows your full health picture, and it's always reasonable to ask if you're ever unsure. Margaret mentioned her dry skin to her doctor at a routine visit, mostly just for peace of mind. Her doctor confirmed what we've been discussing here, and reassured her that her simple routine was exactly right. That reassurance mattered almost as much as the routine itself, because worry alone can make skin feel worse. So don't hesitate to ask your own doctor questions, especially if anything about your skin feels unusual to you. Let's quickly recap the 6 simple steps: lukewarm showers, damp skin moisturizing, a humidifier when needed, hydration, gentle cleansers, and breathable fabrics. None of these steps require anything expensive, and all 6 can realistically start today, this very week. Margaret didn't change everything overnight. She added one habit at a time and gave each one a real chance. Within about a month of steady, gentle habits, her skin felt calmer, softer, and far less itchy overall. That's really the entire takeaway here. Small, consistent, gentle habits matter far more than expensive products or complicated new routines. Your skin's mortar naturally thins with age, but you can absolutely help protect and support what's still there. That's the entire mechanism and the entire fix. Simpler and gentler than most people ever expect it to be. In a moment, we'll wrap up with the one thing I most want you to remember from all of this. If you remember just one thing from today, let it be this: moisturize on damp skin right after a lukewarm shower every single day. That one small timing habit does more for your skin's barrier than almost anything else you could buy or try. Quick reminder, this video is educational only, not medical advice, so please talk with your own doctor about your specific skin. Dry, itchy skin after 60 is common, explainable, and very manageable. It is not something you caused or did wrong. Margaret's skin calmed down, yours can too, with the exact same simple, gentle, consistent habits we walked through together. If this helped you understand your own skin a little better, consider subscribing for more simple, honest explainers like this one. There's more ahead on healthy aging. One clear, calm, honest explanation at a time, just like this one. You'll step out of the shower again soon, and this time your skin will simply feel calmer, softer, and finally at ease.